Well, good morning everyone and welcome to the channel. Again, something slightly different. Today we are driving in Costa Rica after 24 hours of fairly stressful travel yesterday, and it was stressful. We literally left the hotel at Heathrow at 6 o'clock in the morning, 6:30 in the morning, and when we finally got into our room here in Costa Rica, UK time, it was 6:30 in the morning again. So it was 24 hours we travelled yesterday. In the past we've taken a direct British Airways flight to Costa Rica, but they don't run that this time of the year. So we had to do a split journey, which involved flying from Heathrow to Miami on a British Airways flight. And then there was meant to be a 3-hour stopover in Miami before we got an American Airlines flight to here in Costa Rica. But there were so many delays, things breaking down on this British Airways flight, that by the time we reached Miami, we had to rush to get to the American Airlines flight. And then having rushed, that then delayed. So we didn't get here till quite late, to be quite honest. I think we've both decided, haven't we, that we're not going to do that again. If we come here again, we will come in during the season when British Airways do their direct flights, because the direct flight from Gatwick to here is 11 hours.
No, it's a bit more than that.
Is it?
Yeah, it's a little bit more.
Only a little bit more, but it's a lot less stressful.
Yeah.
Once you got on the flight, that's it. There you go. And to be honest, don't know what you think of American Airways, but British Airways are better. You can only say, yeah. But British Airways are better. So that's the first tip. If you're going to come here and you have the freedom of picking when you come in the dry season. For one, it's the dry season, so the weather's better. You can get a direct flight from Gatwick to here. So that's the first tip and trick. Do that. Yeah, it's definitely a better time to come. But obviously, it's more expensive then. So it is cheaper to come in the rainy season.
It's nice still.
Yeah, and rainy season's not raining, the sun's shining now. We came here last year in the rainy season. I think it only probably rained during the day. I don't think it rained at all during the day.
It did, minimal.
Yeah,
it's warm rain.
Yeah, it's warm rain. Most of the time it's nice and sunny, it's lovely. I mean, most of the rainstorms happen at night, which is spectacular. You get spectacular lightning, light shows, and yeah, it's great. I mean, it's pretty humid. We did pick up a bit of mould. I have noticed I've got a mould growing in one of my camera lenses, which is going to cost me a lot of money to get sorted out. Yeah. So this is not coming to Costa Rica on a budget, but it's also not the most expensive way you can do it as well. So it's on tips, and we'll give you some tips and tricks. The next tip and trick I would suggest is, if you're going to hire a car, get the barest minimum, is that the right way, or get the car that just satisfies your needs. So when you get here, you can negotiate an upgrade. If you buy the best car on the planet, or you hire the best car on the planet, you will pay top dollar for it. But when we got here, we'd originally booked a RAV4, which would have just about done what we wanted, but for a couple of $100, we got this beastie. So let's have a look at this beastie. So here are our wheels for this holiday, and I think you'll agree it's more than adequate. We went for the Ford because obviously Fords come with all the whistles and bells. We upgraded from the car that we booked, and then they gave us a free upgrade on to this, which was the next one up. But yeah, it's a beast. It's a beast. It cost us, now it might sound a lot, but it was $1,300 for 10 days. But that's with all of the damage waiver insurance and everything else. So actually, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. I did wince a little bit when they first said it, but yeah, I mean, I don't think you'd hire a car in the United Kingdom for that length of time of this standard, with all the damage waiver and everything on it, for that price. So here we go. Let's get the show on the road. Right, navigation out here. Everyone uses Waze. So if you haven't got Waze on your phone, download it. So we've put in where we're staying. We're staying at El Romanzo Eco Lodge on the Osa Peninsula. It's 236 miles. Should take 6 hours and 13 minutes according to Mr. Waze. He's even got a phone number on there. So that's handy, Harry. Right, so let's go now.
Let's take route 34, Costa Rica. This is the fastest route with tolls.
There is toll roads on the roads here.
6 minutes
They're not hugely expensive. They're quite cheap. You do need to have some. Well, it's the best way is to have some Costa Rican coins in your pocket. But they will take notes and they'll take dollars on the toll roads. Although I'm not convinced that you get the best exchange rate if you're paying with dollars.
But have $1 notes.
Yeah, have $1 notes. So because it's literally
It's pence.
It's pence. The way we've orientated our holiday is we flew from Heathrow. We spent a night at Heathrow in a hotel. That way you haven't got the worry of getting stuck on the M25, and it means you've got a relaxed start to the holiday, albeit it was quite stressful yesterday. We stayed at the Sheraton last night, which came with a park and ride deal, which is purple parking. Quite recommend it. Very useful. We used it last time. It works very well. This time, because we're American Airlines, they keep changing the terminal. We're coming back on, so we'll have to I'll give you some feedback on that later, whether it works or not. And then we spend a hotel. You get here about 8 o'clock at night.
It's meant to be 6.
All right, it's meant to be 6, but we got here at about 8 o'clock. Either way, it's too late to start a 235-mile journey in the dark in a foreign country. So we spent a night at the Holiday Inn, which is near the airport. When you come into the airport, when you book your car, your hire car, and there's a number of companies you can go with. There's Alamo, Adobe, Enterprise, and I'm sure there's all the main ones are there. They have shuttle buses to take you from the airport, so they're easy enough to find. You walk out of the arrivals terminal, there's a car park in front of you, and the shuttle buses are there. You just jump in, they take you to where you want to go. And when you finish your holiday, we've booked in here on our last night. So in the morning we will drive from here to the car rental drop the car off, and then the shuttle bus will take us back to the airport. So that's quite simple. And as already stated, Costa Rica is it's not a cheap holiday. Don't get this wrong. It's not a cheap holiday, but I would sort of not as expensive as it would be going to the similar sort of places in the United Kingdom, I don't think. But you know, you get what you pay for, and we're staying in an eco lodge. It's fantastic. We'll show you around that later. Maybe not in this video, but in a later video. We're now going to do the journey. Now, the reason we're doing this little travelogue is we watch a lot of YouTube together, and one of the channels that we watch a lot is a channel called Snow and Kurt. If you haven't seen it, check it out. It's great. It's a van life series, really. They've got a big van, and they are travelling around the world in it with their 2 cats, would you believe? They've done all of the Americas, and we're currently watching them going around Africa. With all the trials and the tribulations and the wrinkles and the warts and everything, they have had some serious van problems in Africa, which they've had to get resolved eventually. But they're great watch. It's a great watch. We enjoy it anyway. So that's Snow and Kurt. If I remember, I'll put a link to that in the comments below. So anyway, no more ado. Let's get this show on the road. Drive on the right. Drive on the right. Drive on the right. Got to remember that. They drive on the wrong side of the road here.
Oh, it's that mad junction where you have to get over.
Yeah. Now, in the past, we've travelled on a Sunday, and we commented about the number of cyclists on the road and how annoying it was. Of course, we're travelling on a Monday today, and what we hadn't really vectored in is rush hour and the fact that all the trucks are going to be out. And they've got some big trucks on these roads.
And some of the junctions in San Jose, it's a little bit interesting.
And this is where we are. You can see this the airport. We're right near the airport where this hotel is. so it's easy enough to find. Right, one of the things you do have to watch out for here is the speed limits. Obviously, all in kilometres an hour, but the police are pretty hot on jumping out from behind a bush and pinging you, and I think the fines are quite astronomical. So you just got to be conscious of the speed limits, and the speed limits quite often change for no apparent reason. It's quite often it's written on the road, but not always. So you've got to watch out for the signs. We are in an 80 kilometre speed limit here. I've actually got auto. I've got a cruise control on this car, which should make it easier. And of course, the other thing, the locals, they know where the speed traps are and where the police hide and everything like that. So they're all driving much faster. But you do need to be aware of it. I think they will try and catch tourists out if they can. And of course, the next thing is this car has got a bit of oomph, so it will get up to speed quite quickly. So I just need to keep on top of it. So I'm going to use the cruise control as much as possible. And as a backup, and we all know from my fishing channel, I like backups. I've got a marina tells me what the speed limits are. So it's still saying 80 kilometres an hour on the road, so that's good. We're going to turn left shortly. The Waze tells me, so I'll keep an eye open for that. But I think it's probably a right filter and then over the top. Be interesting to see which way it takes us. But one time we went, and I don't think we went through a single toll road the whole journey. And then another time we went, and we seemed to go through loads. So I'm not quite sure how that happens, but we'll see. We'll see if this takes us off down the roads that avoids the peages. We're gonna stop on the journey twice. We've got 2 planned stops on the journey. The first one is we're going to see the crocodiles, and we'll show you the video of that, so explain what that's about. And then we'll stop for something to eat in
Uvita.
Is it Uvita? Is it?
Yeah, there's a police car, I think.
Right, look at old Waze tells us there's a car on the side of the road somewhere.
That's not so good.
There's a car on the side of the road. We're in Costa Rica, but it's still that nice English lady speaking on the Waze. The one thing we haven't set the Waze up in kilometres an hour, so when we stop we'll have a look and see if we can do that. So if you're like us, where you come from a country where they drive on the correct side of the road, which is the left, you've got to rethink about driving on the right. Now, for me, that's not such a huge challenge because I've driven overseas quite a lot. But for some people, that's quite daunting. And likewise, if you come from a country that drives on the wrong side of the road, and you come to the United Kingdom, I've heard people say they've refused to drive in the UK because it's the left. Well, you just have to switch your left side of the road, right side of the brain on, and kind of identify the times when it's most challenging, and that's normally joining roads. So you're still used to looking up the lane that would be the oncoming traffic from what you're used to, and down the lane and of course it's the other way around, and I did nearly come unstuck with that once. So just take your time when you first start going, get into the rhythm of driving on the wrong side of the road, and it becomes easy. But you don't switch off, because the day you switch off is the day you'll suddenly discover you're driving the wrong side of the road. And all these trucks, or as they call them in the UK and in the US, semis.
We only know that by watching
Snow and Kurt.
In 1,000 feet. At the roundabout, take the second exit.
So you come off right.
Yeah, it's a bit of an eye opener going the wrong way round roundabouts.
27 direction Caldera.
Melon cellar.
It's like a minor right, isn't it?
Approaching a toll booth.
We're approaching a toll booth.
Or peage, as you call them.
That's what they call them here.
Over the railway line.
Yeah, watch out for oncoming trains.
Right, it's not where they're going, it's where the
Yeah.
cars going.
No Caratas. A picture of a mule
Ox.
pulling a, not
No,
a mule,
it's an ox.
an ox pulling a car.
Right, so
So
480. Got 10.
So 180 colones, I think is about 50p.
How much is that? 180?
So, no, you said, I thought you said
I thought you said
490.
490.
480.
500.
So 500 sounds a lot, but it's a little coin. I always get confused over the number of zeros on things. Hola. Thank you. Gracias. Simple as that.
Okay, mountains.
And there's the mountains.
Above San Jose.
So one of the mountains near San Jose was a volcano that erupted. Well, in fact, they're all volcanic mountains, but one of them near San Jose erupted last week. We might see it on the way down, something with smoke above it. Got another Estación Passage in 500 metres.
Really?
That's what it says.
Well, we're going the Piage route.
Yeah, we definitely are going the Piage route of Passage. Mind you, it might not be. It might be you have to turn off to them. Maybe it's we'll see.
It's a car backfiring.
I thought it was being shot at. Oh, frankly, the roads are better here than they are in the UK. It might be rare in Berkeley Square, but not in the Rio Grande.
Where does that come from?
It's a line from the poem about Eskimo Nell. So this isn't our first time in Costa Rica. We've been here quite a few times now. And there are ways you can come here where you don't have to do any of this planning. So there are companies that will do all of this for you. And the first few times we came here, we came with a company called Audley Travel. The first time we came here, it was a 3-destination holiday. We went to the volcano at Arenal, we went up into the cloud forest, and then we went to Manuel Antonio, I think. And that was all on-road transfer, so it was shuttle buses taking you from one location to the next, which was great. Obviously, took up time out of your holiday. A lot of it was done driving, but you got to meet a lot of interesting people because on each of the shuttle buses you'd be partied up with another different bunch of people, and so you get to chat and see their experience. It was great. The next time we came, we flew. We got in-country shuttle flights. Which was great because you didn't spend much time travelling, but you have got to go through the stress of getting on and off planes, and does your luggage fit, and and everything else. And also Marina isn't a great fan of small aeroplanes, and I've got the nail marks on the backs of my hands from where she gripped onto my hands with a death grip every time we took off and landed. But again, you get to see different parts of the country. You get to see a nice low flight view of the mountains and what have you. And coming into the airport of Puerto Jimenez is quite fun because it kind of flies between the trees to get on the runway, which is quite good. You may well see that.
Next to the cemetery.
Next to the cemetery, yeah. The company that we were flying with actually did crash their plane the year after, I think, and they don't do it anymore. And then on that particular holiday we did 2 centres. So we did both on the Pacific coast, one up north at I can't remember the name of the place. Very nice. And then we went to El Romanzo, which is the first time we've been to El Romanzo. And to be quite honest with you, we just keep going back there because it's so good. It's an eco lodge. It's on the Osa Peninsula. The family that run it have a history with Greenpeace, so it's very eco-friendly. They produce their own water. They produce their own electricity from streams. It's fantastic. Food is amazing. The lodges themselves that you're living in, well, you're in the jungle. You know, you get woken up every morning by the howler monkeys, and some days when they're very close to the shelter, that's where you're sleeping. It's very loud. The rooms aren't air conditioned, but frankly, you don't need it.
It's nicer.
It's nicer. You know, there's kind of mesh windows, so there's always a through breeze, overlooking the Pacific, looking out towards the sunset. Fantastic. But we did that. That was the flying location one. I think we did it a couple of times, flying from location to location, didn't we? And then we decided we'd like to drive. So again, through Orderly Travel, they organised that all. We got a car and we drove to El Romanzo. And having done that once, we thought, you know, something we could do. We don't need to be paying top dollar to a company to organise this for us. We can do it ourselves, and that's what we've done from now on. Is we just organise it ourselves, and it's not hard. It's easy to do.
Chris,
I don't know. Do you want to add anything to that, Marina?
do you want to go back about when we went the first time in the car?
The first time we went, it was organised by Orderly Travel. We went. It was a company called Adobe. Was the hire car company. And frankly, when I booked it the next year, I thought I was booking with Adobe, but I hadn't. I booked with Alamo. But it was very good experience with Alamo. They gave us a free upgrade, so we were going for the smallest sort of sports SUV. And
because we need a 4x4.
Because we need a 4x4, because where we're going, that's right, where we're going, there is about an hour's drive on unmade roads, and the track down to El Romanzo itself is quite steep and rocky.
And says you need a 4x4.
So, I mean, I don't think that car we had that first time was a 4x4.
And it wasn't, and that's why.
The very first time.
That's why, because we asked for a 4x4,
yeah.
We didn't get one. So that's why every time we go subsequently, we're very clear it has to be a real 4x4, not like this sporty 4x4 jobby.
Yeah. Although we got in and out of El Romanzo. I mean, I remember the first day that I drove out, I got someone from the hotel to follow me out just in case I couldn't get up the hill, and he got up the hill all right, to be honest.
But if it was raining?
Yeah, if it was wet, it might have been different.
So, and we went in the dry season, didn't we?
Yeah, that first trip.
Yeah.
So, as I say, the second time when we went with the Alamo, we booked the sort of cheapest 4x4 you could get. They offered us a free upgrade, and there was a Hilux pickup across the lot, and I said, well, that's what I drive back home in England. And he said, oh, because I don't think people want them. So we got a Hilux pickup truck, which was great. Yeah, and then this time we went for a RAV4, which would have been the barest minimum.
I don't think that was a proper 4x4 either.
Well, it was or it wasn't. But the fact being is that for £100 more, we've got this, and this is a beast.
Roadworks reported ahead.
Oh well, jolly good. Roadworks. I mean, no different than the rest of the world. The only thing about their roadworks needs to be there to repair the roads, whereas I don't know what ours have caused havoc on the roads. Okay. As I mentioned earlier, San Jose is kind of surrounded by mountains. It's virtually in the centre of the country. So we're coming out through those mountains and we're heading down towards the Pacific coast. So we're gradually losing height. But as we get closer to the Pacific, you can see the cloud is building up. So I expect we are going to see a bit of rain in the not too distant future. But you know, that's cool. It needs to dust off the roads, doesn't it? When we get down onto the coast, we will be on the Pan American Highway, which is the main route that, in theory, links the north to the south, although I think there's one stretch in the middle of it where there isn't a road. And we'll be going on the Pan American Highway for most of the way after that, which is it's a nice fast road. places. In places it's a little bit run down. The last time we came to the road that collapsed, there was a single lane bridge, but hopefully that's been repaired now. But that's what we're doing. But we're about 5 miles away from our first stop, and we'll put the camera on when we get there. Right, well we've reached, we've got a man here waving me over. I want to go there. Right, we've reached the so-called Crocodile Bridge, so let's go and see if there's any crocodiles to be seen. Marina's going to stay in the car though, because she's seen it. Seen it all before. The one thing you forget when you've been in an air-conditioned car, you are actually in a tropical country, and it is the rainy season, so it's quite humid. So you get out of the car and it's like walking into an oven, which is nice. So we're just walking down to the bridge to see if there's any crocodiles to be seen. First time we came here, there wasn't a footway on this bridge, so you really took your life in your own hands when you walked down here. Great big semis wishing past you, and even now, big old beasts like that, and the bridge bounces up and down as they go past you, which is also quite disconcerting. Like that. Yeah, you can see it's a rainy season, there's quite a lot of water in the river, so might not see any crocodiles. Oh yeah, there is one, I can see one there. Get a bit closer, put the camera on when we get there. Right, I think you can probably see it, but it's a big old fella down there. The water is very, very chocolatey. It's obviously been raining up in the hills, so you can't see the crocodiles here. Ordinarily there's quite a few. They're probably here underneath that water, just sitting on the bottom waiting for an unwary tourist to go paddling. Oh no, there's another one there as well. So there's two big boys. But yeah, they are a species of saltwater crocodile, which, as you know, in Australia account for quite a lot of people disappearing. And I have heard a story that a boy went missing here a couple of years ago, and they believe crocodile got him, but I don't know how true that is. They're here because the locals feed them, I think, feed them chickens, so it keeps them here because it's a bit of a tourist attraction, as you can imagine. But they're quite a different looking crocodile to the Australian salts. They've got a very pointed snout, haven't they? But you still wouldn't want to hang it off your leg, don't think? And it's a crocodile, not an alligator. You know, the other species of I was going to say saurin, but these big creatures are caiman. There's quite a few species of caiman here, and they're alligators. And the difference is well, they're a different animal, but you can tell the difference because I think, and I can check this to be sure, but the crocodiles, you can see their teeth on the outside of their snout, and that one over there, you can see it. So as a consequence of the crocodiles, all these little markets have grown up selling touristy stuff. Surprisingly enough, they don't charge you to go and look at them. I think there's a guy who tries to organise the park in here, and I think he likes to get a tip, but we're not going to tip him because there's no requirement to. And Marina's guarding the car anyway, so busy old road. And I don't know what's going on here. They're building a new totem tarcoles. I don't know what it's going to be. So this is Tarcoles Bridge, or as it's now known, Crocodile Bridge. A bit of a landmark. We don't go over any of the other bridges and look down and see loads of crocodiles. As I say, I think it's because the locals here have encouraged the crocodiles to settle here. So onwards and the next stop should be is it Uvites?
Uvita.
Uvites. I think it's Uvites.
Uvita.
Is it? No,
Uvita.
Right.
Where
Well,
the whale tail is.
Yeah. Which again, I'll insert a picture of the coast. There's a coast. There's a unique peninsula. It looks like a whale's tail. We stayed near there last year, but unfortunately both of us are quite ill, so we never walked to the end of the Uvita. Uvita to the end of the whale's tail. You could see it from our hotel room, so. But we were quite ill. Now, they would have you believe that the water is safe to drink here out of the taps, and certainly where we go, El Romanzo, it's spring water. But we did pick up quite a nasty bug in Uvita last year, which laid us quite low for a couple of days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you don't trust it,
Yeah,
don't take it.
Yeah, drink bottled water is always the best thing. I mean, as I say, when we're at El Romanzo, I think we can trust it.
Yeah.
They do. I think they treat it with ultraviolet light. It's the only filtration they do, which actually is the same as the water you drink in Eastbourne. The water that comes out of the chalk in Eastbourne, the only treatment they give that there is ultraviolet light. It's one microbe that's been recognised in it, which responds to ultraviolet light. So yeah, onwards and downwards to the Pan American Highway. And on first view of the Pacific. And we're approaching, I don't know if it's pronounced Jacko or Yakko, but it's quite a tourist destination. A lot of American tourists go there.
Yeah.
And it's a surfing, the people come here to surf.
It's very touristy though. If you like a touristy place,
Yeah.
it'll probably be great. It's not the kind of thing we like.
No. We're getting a bit old and set in our ways, I think. A bit of relaxation and peace and quiet. We like to go somewhere where we are the noisiest people. And that's not very noisy. I mean, generally we've met some really nice people on these things, haven't we?
Yeah, we have.
So generally, I don't think we've met anybody that's not been nice.
No.
The beauty of coming in the rainy season, or the start of the rainy season, everything's so green. When you come in January, February time, it's all a little bit faded and dusty. As you can see, it's so beautifully green down here. And obviously we're on the Pacific side now, so it does get a bit of weather here, I think. Good Pacific rainfall. The other thing you've got to look out for when you're driving around here is that wherever there's a school, and in most little township there is a school, the speed limit goes right down. And so you'll suddenly see the speed limit dropping down to 60 for no apparent reason. I think it's 60. It's because there's a school there. So you do have to be careful, because that is where, if the federales are gonna wait to get you, that's be where they do it. We're travelling on a Monday. As I say, normally we travel on a Sunday, so the schools are all shut. But today the schools are going to be open. There we go, 60 kilometres velocity maxima. I would imagine there's a school just here. Might just be it's a township. There's a Starbucks.
Oh yeah, you drive through. And an artisan chocolate factory, which is more like it.
Yeah. Now, Costa Rica's got two coasts. It's got a Caribbean side as well. And we've never been to the Caribbean side. Perhaps we ought to, maybe. I don't know. I've just heard stories that you get a lot more mosquitoes on the Caribbean side. I don't know how true that is. So we like to go to the Pacific side, where I think in all the times we've been, Marina's been bitten about 3 times, which is good. Although there is a place where I go up and put a trail camera out where the peccaries go. There's a wallow, and there seems to be quite a lot of mosquitoes there actually.
Jesus.
semis tend to rule the roads by the virtue of I'm bigger than you are. Starbucks drive-through, 2 kilometres. You want a Starbucks?
No, thank you.
So, in fact, 25 kilometres per hour. So we're approaching the school zone. I was wrong. It doesn't go down to 60. It goes down to 25. So we're in a school area now. So we can spin the camera so you can see the school. Yeah. So the kids are out roaming the streets.
But it was Waze who told us it was school zone.
Yeah, Waze told us it was a school, but it doesn't. It's not infallible.
No, but it's helpful.
Yeah, it's helpful. But you can see the traffic's going very slow. Now, the other thing that I forgot to mention is that if you do get pulled by the police, what they do is they seize your number plates, and then to get them back, you have to pay the fine. And as I said, it's a huge fine. I mean, I've heard a rumour, but I wouldn't want to test it, that if you're willing to give them a cash donation instead of the fine, then it's cheaper that way. But again, I wouldn't trust that. It's a rumour.
Urban myth.
An urban myth. Yeah, the trick is don't speed. And it's easier said than done, because I mean, in theory, we're doing 40 kilometres an hour now. We're in the line of traffic doing 40 kilometres an hour. You get that sign back there said 25. So we passed through Jacko, and I guess we're on the track. Are we on the Pan American Highway now? I think we must be.
Yeah.
I don't know that it's still called the Pan American Highway, but it is the main north-south route that connects all the way up. I think we're still in the outskirts of Jacko, actually.
We are. See
Yeah, some
by
of
the
these
tower, the
big
high
tower
rise
blocks.
and
Either some of those hotels or
yeah,
apartment blocks. But you can see it's a Mexican grill. Lots of restaurants, cafes and bars
I
here.
think a lot of Americans come here.
Yeah, a lot of Americans come here.
Because I think it's probably more of a beach holiday than a nature holiday.
Yeah, I think so. I don't think you get woken up by howler monkeys here. I don't think you probably would hear them in the hills maybe, but you won't be hearing them in your back garden. Although it was probably somewhere near here. We saw a video where they went to a place that was an aeroplane, wasn't it? It was a restaurant that was an aeroplane. Up
No,
in
that was near Uvita.
Oh, was it near Uvita, was it?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
And they heard the howler monkeys there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you've never heard a howler monkey, and I don't know how true this is, but I believe that they used the sound of a howler monkey to simulate the sounds of the Tyrannosaurus in Jurassic Park. It sounds like a monster. It doesn't sound, you wouldn't imagine it's a small monkey making this noise. It's allegedly it's the loudest animal on the planet, and they are loud. And I've said this a million times, but I don't think I've said it on video. Can you imagine the Spanish conquistadors on the first night that they've set foot on ashore in Central America, and they're camping down for the night, and they suddenly hear this roaring sound coming from the forest? They probably think they are surrounded by demons. It's just a small black monkey. We will see some, and we will hear some during this week, I am sure. Right. It's a better view of the Pacific Ocean.
You don't look on them.
Whoa, it's the wind. Oh, can't wait to get a fishing on it. Big surf. Breaking on the rocks. Now, if you watch the Snow and Kurt videos, they're sleeping in the van, so they come down and they camp along some of these areas, spend the night there. which actually sounds quite attractive in a way. I'm guessing the reality of it is it's not so wonderful. Especially with two cats in the van as well.
Could be worse. Could be a dog and two cats.
Yeah. Well, we do watch, forget their names.
Camper vibe.
Camper Vibe, and they've got a dog and a cat. And they travel around, and they've settled down in Ireland now, but they did travel, a lot of travelling.
Yeah, but better behaved than our two cats and dog. That's
Oh
what I was
God,
trying to
yeah.
say.
I can imagine a dog in the back of a van with two cats. It would be, well, you'd have a one-eyed dog.
It'd be mutiny. By the
That's it.
cats.
Yeah. I think the cats would beat the dog up.
Oh, look at that.
Look at that. There's a particular type of tree that they make posts out of, and then when they stick them in the ground, they take root again and turn back into trees. I see quite a lot of fences made out of this system. It's a bit like, you know, willow in the UK, where you can plant stick willow wands and they grow back as trees. So this is obviously some sort of tropical tree that does that. And they build hedges. You don't see many established ones, so maybe it's something that's reasonably new. I don't know. Or maybe you don't notice it as being an established one because it's all big trees now. The armoured truck there, look.
Oh, yeah.
Payroll. You're getting a great film with a dashboard.
No, it's not. I can see it, Chris. Thanks. Great film of traffic. Smell it, it's sweet. That
There's a
smoke.
smell.
It's like a sweet smell. It reminds me of something like treacle.
So they're producing the palm oil by, I don't know how they process them, the kernels that they take off the top of the trees. I don't know what the process is. I mean, some of these oil palm trees are quite tall. I presume they take the tops off them and then chop the tree down, and then they reseed them, replant them. Pretty disgusting, smoky old, you've got a big black smoke coming out of the chimney. And there's the palm kernels on the backs of the trucks there.
Yeah.
To be back down to 60 again. There's a school coming up.
School zone ahead.
Thank you. 100 metres to the school. 25 kilometres per hour when the students are present.
assume that meant if you could see them.
Well, I mean, I don't know. How do you define presence of the students?
I don't know.
Yeah, I can see students in an outdoors classroom. But he's obviously ignoring it.
Nobody cares about that. Oh.
And there's the end of the 25-mile-an-hour thing, so we can speed back up again.
I assumed it meant that if they're just wandering around.
Well, the palm oil husks being taken to the factory.
It's not very good.
That road obviously has collapsed into the river. Put a Bailey bridge up. That's it, off the bridge. Right, we've stopped to have a break. We all stop in the same place because we like it here. Let me just show you something about the place that I really like. It's a silly little thing. Some ladies, the gents toilet has got a tie on the door and the ladies has got a high heel shoe. I think that's great. Great idea. Right, so just off there is La Cosinga Lodge. We stopped there for 3 nights when we came through here last year.
Yeah.
I really liked it. It's it's a beautiful restaurant overlooking the sea. The lodges look out over the sea as well. There's different standards as lodges. Some some are better than others. We moved. We looked at several. Stayed in one of the expensive ones, but we could only stay there one night, and then we moved into one of the lesser lodges. Very nice, I thought. Nice swimming pool. It's tucked away down a track, and there's a nice trail down to the beach, not too strenuous. And the beach you can swim on, which is good because that's quite unusual on this coast. Because normally there's too much of a rip, but it was quite an enclosed beach. So very nice. And Simon Reeve went there as part of his Americas tour. He stayed at the Cosinga Lodge.
Yeah. Or he did at least film something.
Yeah, he filmed from there, didn't he? And the first thing we saw as we were checking in was a pair of aracaras.
Yeah.
The Rastafarian toucans, I call them, sitting on a tree right outside the reception area, which was quite spectacular as well. So yeah, if you're looking for somewhere to look up La Cosinga Lodge. It's well worth a visit.
And Cosinga means?
It means the toucans, doesn't it?
The Aracari toucans.
Yeah, Aracari toucans are Cosingas, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think they're probably, of all the birds in Costa Rica, they're our favourite, aren't they?
Or the toucans or the
Aracara.
Aracari? No, I like a
You like a whole plethora of toucans.
I like toucans, but I think I prefer what's the one?
Chestnut mandible.
No, what's the other one?
Fiery.
No, it's the other one.
Well, I think the chestnut mandible one is the one that's has its name changed every time you look at it in the book.
No, it's the one you can get in Belize. It's more of a rainbow colour beak.
Oh, I don't know. A fiery billed toucan? I don't know, we'll have to look it up. But that's in Belize, you don't get them here.
You can get them here, but not where we're going.
I'll take your word for that. I don't know that one.
I'm an aficionado of the toucan.
When did we see them then? When we were
in Belize.
Did we?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I've got a painting of one in the bathroom.
Oh, okay.
Because that's not a standard toucan in the bathroom.
Oh, okay. Right, okay, and also off here, near here, is where the whale's tail is. Again, we didn't go there because we were both too ill, but I will put a picture of that into the video so you can see what I'm talking about. We're looking for somewhere, a vista or somewhere where we can pull up and have a little rest for half an hour.
Siesta.
Rest my eyes. We tried going down a road that signposted to a beach, but actually just took it to a pay and display car park, which we don't really want to go in. So there must be a vista along here somewhere where we can stop. You can see the road. As we've been coming along this road, we've been commenting to ourselves that actually they've obviously redone the road because up until Uvita it was a brand new road surface with brand new lines. Then from Uvita it's brand new surface with no lines, and we are just about to go off the end of the brand new surface onto the old surface, which is all scoured out, ready for the new surface. So obviously development is in progress. So we're going beyond progress now. So this is where we remember from last time we came, the bridge. They put this bridge in because obviously the old bridge has collapsed, and it's a big Bailey bridge, isn't it? And it looks like it's still here. Starting to look a bit tired now.
And nobody knows who's meant to go when.
Yeah, you kind of, I think you bully your way through. You can see where the trucks and it are coming off the bridge and destroying the road even worse.
Always an opportunity to sell though.
Yeah, anywhere the traffic slows down, sell your oranges.
Yeah.
In fact, you got that on camera, they know what we're talking about. Piles of rubbish. No, Costa Rica generally is very clean, but occasionally you just see places that the dustmen seem to have forgotten. I noticed that last time we came through, it was this one area where it was very, very rubbishy.
So it's just probably a rundown area.
Maybe. Maybe they're not paying the council tax. Right, excitement over. Petrol station at the junction.
This is one with the bridge.
Fucking bridge, everyone's got a bridge.
I know there's a particular bridge, Chris. When you see it, you'll know what I'm
There's a
talking
long narrow
about.
bridge where I nearly hit a cyclist.
No.
In 1,000 feet. Exit to the right to Ruta 2, Interamericana Sul. Then keep right.
Pedras. Piedras.
Corcovado.
Corcovado.
Exit to the right. Then keep right to Ruta 2, Interamericana Sul.
This isn't the junction I was thinking of.
And that's the bridge.
That's the bridge you're talking about, yeah.
Keep right to Ruta 2, Interamericana
Got a
Sul.
cyclist. Not sure what I'm going to give away here to
Yeah.
here or not.
Cedar.
To whom?
Oh. Anybody who fancied coming along. Right, the bridge.
Continue straight for
Marina's
25
Bridge.
minutes to Ruta 245, Chacarita, Puerto Jimenez.
Beautiful
Rivers are
bridge.
chocolatey brown. It's
Yeah.
raining in the hills.
In the hills. I'm happy now
Marina's Bridge.
that Chris didn't believe existed.
No, I knew there was a bridge because I got distracted and nearly hit a cyclist last time I come over it. But it wasn't the way you were describing it. It was the town with the bridge. Well, I don't remember the town's got a bridge. Right. Yeah, I think a little bit of rain coming. Although I haven't seen any cars looking soaking wet coming towards us, but it doesn't mean to say it's not happening. Rain, not the time to be riding your motorbike, I don't think, in your shorts and t-shirt.
I've been
Oh,
towed.
towing a motorcycle. Oh, it's something I haven't had to use very much in Costa Rica. The windscreen wipers. Because when it rains, it proper rains.
Well, just they're gonna have to come.
Now put the lights on.
Huh?
side of the rain.
In 1,000 feet, turn right into Route 2
I bet that bloke on that motorbike is wet to his underpants.
It's after this. Yeah. Yeah.
See where we're going. Turn the windscreen wipers off. Good.
Oh, you're going on the side of the road. So see.
Continue straight for 50 minutes to Route 2.
Right, discretion being the better part of valour, we turned off the main road and instantly there was huge puddles on this road. It was sheeting down the rain, couldn't see what we were doing. So we pulled in. I'm not sure if it's the entranceway to the house or what,
Yeah.
but we'll wait for this rain to die down a bit. There's still cars and vehicles coming along here,
But he used to it though.
but yeah, they're either used to it or they're just mad. Let's see what happens with this person.
I think you kind of have to drive along the middle of the road a bit and not to the edges.
Yeah, but I mean, the drainage on these roads are amazing. I mean, it's literally a ditch. I mean,
I was worried you were going to go off into the ditch.
yeah, well, that's the problem. Is if the ditch is full of water, you wouldn't see it. I mean, this isn't so bad, but a bit later on, it's that concrete
Yeah.
drainage thing. So the road will drain the road pretty quickly. There's quite a
Yeah.
steep camber on the roads, and then drainage ditches on either side. But they're a bit unforgiving. If you get a front wheel into one of them, you've had it. You're off. So we'll sit this out and start moving again. It won't last long. Famous last words. It was just a couple of minutes. It's dying away now. You can tell that by the automatic windscreen wipers have slowed right down. Let's get back on the road. Hit the road, Jack.
Shut somebody's front drive.
Was that
better.
thunder?
Could be.
Yeah, thunder. There's blue sky up there.
Oh.
For the next rainstorm. But we found out while we were waiting that we've got automatic headlights and automatic windscreen wipers, so learning about this car all the time. It is beast, very impressed with it. Well, 1 hour 55 minutes according to the sat nav, but I think that's probably 55 minutes of that is the dirt track from Puerto Jimenez to El Romanzo. National Corcovado. So the Corcovado National Park, which is where we're on the edge of, is a fantastic wildlife reserve, and on the other side of it from where we are is Drake's Bay, which is another sport fishing haven, holiday resort, etc. The highway that we were on to Puerto Jimenez is a little bit more challenging. It's a good road, it's well surfaced, but it's very windy, and you might notice there's a very steep drainage ditch off to the right, which I think if you get bullied off the road by a truck coming past you, which is quite conceivable, you would lose. Once your front wheel goes down in that, I think you've had it. And there's no marking on it. There's no curb to it or anything. It's just suddenly drops off. Suddenly drop off it. So it's a windy road. There's trucks and cars coming the other way. No markings in the middle of the road at all. So you get it wrong and you end up in a ditch. Having said that, I've noticed, famous last words, I've not seen a great number of cars in that ditch. Has he stopped four-way flashing on? Has he stopped four? There's also a chance of a tree down or something across here. So he stopped, or just stopped because of the rain. I think I'd want to do that in the middle of the road when it was really sheeting down earlier on, because you wouldn't have seen it until the last second. He kept himself a semi in his trunk.
Called a sinkhole.
Sinkhole, yeah. That's what we call a pothole. Yeah, the roads might be in a lot better condition than ours, but what they haven't got in the way of little potholes, they make up in the way of big ones. That's not a pothole, that's a pothole.
Right.
Pothole you can park a semi in is a pothole. And we come out the other side of the weather, it looks like it's hardly rained here.
Landslide.
A bit of a landslide.
That's a new-ish. Maybe not.
I think it's pretty new. So, Snow and Kurt, if you're watching this, these roads pale into insignificance by comparison to some of the things you've taken your van down. But still quite exciting. Dog in the road.
Shit. God. That's the bit I hate.
Dog in the road, and a Hyundai right up my backside for a second there. Right, should be able to see the Golfo Dolce, the sweet Gulf,
Well, you
on
won't
our
because
left,
it's
in gaps through the trees.
Yeah, but
I won't be looking because I'm concentrating on the road, but Marina, you could look to the left.
I am. You.
No, not there yet.
Yeah, no, you are, but you don't look.
And the trees are all in blossom. Loads of
Don't
blooming
look.
trees. Look at that. Orange trees.
Don't look.
If it was a sunny day, that would be beautiful. A blue Gulf with orange trees in front of it. But of course it's not. It's a bit like a wet weekend in Eastbourne. Except a bit warmer. Down to sea level now, so we're virtually down out of the hills, I think. Yeah, we've obviously not filmed the whole of this snaky bit of road, but it is. I think it's quite challenging. You've got to really keep concentrating on it. And it comes at that point in the journey when you're actually starting to feel a bit tired. And yeah.
We've still got an hour and 10 minutes to go.
Yep. But it's not a windy road like this.
No.
And there it is, off to the left. The Sweet Gulf. Puerto Jimenez. It's a school run. You might notice that there's one helmet, and then there's a helmet on someone's arm, and then there's another person behind the person with a helmet on their arm.
Speed hump.
Right.
So the outskirts of
Downtown metropolis of Puerto Jimenez.
yeah. This is like
Rush hour.
someone just abandoned their car.
Turn right onto Route 245, Puerto Jimenez, Playa Carrot.
Right.
I mean, say this road doesn't go anywhere, but there's signposts that say it goes to Corcovado National Park.
Yeah, we'll look in the maps and ask the question again.
Yeah, last time we came here, we were on Waze, and it was great until we got here, and then it just seemed to get lost. And so we had to go on to
In 12.1 miles,
Google to
you'll
do this
arrive at
last
El
bit.
Remanso Rainforest Lodge.
12 miles to go.
43 minutes.
43 minutes to do 12 miles, and that is because in not very long the tarmac dries up. Dogs in the road. We had a couple of instances of dogs in the road this year. We didn't get it on film, but we'll get this on film.
Little puppy ran away.
The old big old dog just stood there and tried to stare us down. I think I've got a feeling this wasn't tarmacked here before. Maybe I'm wrong. Of course, might be it's tarmac now. We angsted over a brick. There's a place where you used to have to ford a river, and it was kind of challenging, wasn't it? And
That was in the dry
first
season.
time we hired a car to come here, we were angsting over this river, and we were going to get across it. And when we got to it, it was a bridge. They'd put a bridge over it.
Thankfully.
Thankfully, yeah. Yeah, I don't think this was tarmac. This was gravel road here. I'm sure.
It was
I seem to
gravel road.
remember somebody saying that they were going to start tarmacking the road here. Maybe the last frontier, the final frontier that made this a challenging journey is no more. It's a motorway. We'll have to stop coming here. It's all too easy. This definitely wasn't tarmac here. Oh, hang on a minute. There we go. Ah, and here we are off the thing. That wasn't tarmac there though, definitely. Some skit, and it's a new bridge.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a bright thing to do, Mr. Motorbike. I mean, it's gravel, but it's a lot better than it was.
So all these people probably work
In the hotels.
in the hotels up this road.
Yeah. So this is tarmac. Yeah, this wasn't
Yeah.
tarmac. Yeah, look at this.
I'm sure some of it was tarmac, sure.
No, this wasn't tarmac here. Definitely not. I mean, I don't know how long this tarmac's going to last. It's not very thick, but... Right, well, we'll put the camera on when we get to where we're going, I guess. Or any more bridges, sketchy bridges. See, they might have tarmac the road, but still, they've still got these bridges with no parapets on them, just wide enough to get across. Knew it was too good to be true. They haven't tarmacked it all the way, so we've still got a little bit of making it worthwhile having a 4x4. And this bridge is looking mega sketchy. God.
Jesus. That's not good at all, is it?
No. A new bridge. It is a new bridge, isn't it? Yeah, I think that used to be a Ford when we first came.
I haven't got round to doing this bit yet.
It's still better than it was. It's been graded, but it's obviously eroded. The rain washed down it. See, that's why they've got a little low two-wheel drive van. They're going to struggle up here.
And hence the reason why you insist on a 4x4.
Yeah. A bit of ground clearance and a bit more oomph. We're not even in four-wheel drive yet.
No.
We're not going into four-wheel drive.
Don't know. It's flashing.
Yeah, it's flashing. Perhaps you have to stop to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't need to be in four-wheel drive to go.
No.
What that changes. Stop here. And then get ahead. See what happens if you put that into four-wheel drive. There you go. You have to be stationary to do it. She's not very good at Fords, is it?
Like a hot knife through butter.
Yeah, it's a hot knife through butter. Like shit of a duck's arse.
The car shifted though, isn't it? The car has shifted somewhat. What's a car going there? Yeah, I wouldn't advise that kind of car up here, personally. I wouldn't want to take my normal car around.
I mean, that's all right in the dry, but if it had been raining, we'd struggle up there. Mind you, if it was raining, we might even struggle up there in four-wheel drive. Four-wheel drive. So this little bit that's left is why we get a four-wheel drive. I mean, they're managing to get up here in a two-wheel drive in front of us, although it looks really sketchy. But it's not raining, and if it was wet, I think they would struggle.
And I'm sure it's not too pleasant a journey either.
No. There's a sign at the top saying leave your cars here. Go any further. I think this is it.
It's not this one, it's the
You'll
next one.
arrive
There you go.
in 1,000 feet.
Oh,
It's not this one.
That's Costa Rica, I think.
Yeah.
It's the next one. El Romanzo.
Yay!
Yay, we have arrived. We drive all the
Probably
way down.
wondering what's happening.
Sorry?
They're probably wondering why we're so late. El Romanzo.
Well, they're late. I mean, I don't know why we are that late. We didn't leave particularly late. I think there was one time we left at silly o'clock, didn't we?
6 o'clock.
Yeah. What did we leave at 8 today?
Yeah.
So that was 2 hours earlier.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. There's going to be no issues about the room not being ready or anything like that. Big tree cut colony there. We're in our happy place.
Mm-hmm.
Place you park your car if you haven't got a 4x4. Because the next bit is a trifle sketchy. I think even Snow and Kurt might struggle coming
You've
down
arrived
here.
at your destination.
Keep going on about Snow and Kurt. You do need to check out their channel. It's very good. They're not youngsters. But they're very courageous in what they do. I don't think I would do what they do.
No, especially in what they're doing in Africa.
Yeah.
With no kind of backup.
Well, we haven't really seen what they did in South America, have we?
No, oh no, it's true.
Go right down to the bottom.
Yeah.
And offload the bags
Yeah.
to the concierge.
Yeah. We need to take all this water out as well.
Yeah.
You've got somewhere you can park those.
Looking quite full.
Loads of space in it.
and we are here. So this is what we come here to see.